Hi everyone, my name is Sankey, and in this lesson I'm going to be going through giving a taster of one of the concepts from my course Timing Skills for Blues Harmonica. Now you can find out more about this course by watching the trailer that will be coming up at the end of this video, and also by going to the course page itself, which the link is at the bottom of the screen now, and it will come up again at the end of the video. So the concept we're going to be going through today is this idea of dwell time. So how subtle micro changes in timing on one or two notes can completely transform a lick, a phrase, or a groove. So to play along, you just need a C diatonic harmonica. Now we're going to explore this idea of dwell time by creating a simple 2-bar riff, which we're going to cycle through, and what we're going to do is we're going to play it in a very straightforward way, and then we're going to change the timing just on a couple of notes very subtly, and we will see how that phrase, how that riff is transformed. So let's lay down the basic riff itself. It'll be familiar to it, but the key thing here is to be able to loop through this 2-bar riff, maintaining the structure and time, and this is something that we go into a lot more detail during the course itself. So let me play it through. It sounds like this. Okay, so we're looping through that. So in our C harmonica, we're in the key of G, we're in cross position. And what we're looking to do is we are looking to play each note on the beat. So we've got 2 bars, and because we're in 4/4, there are 4 beats in each bar. So in each bar we're going to be playing 4 notes, 1 per beat. Okay? So bar 1, we're going up the harmonica. So the notes are draw 2, draw 3 with a little bend on it, not quite a half step bend, but a bend on it. So draw 2, draw 3, a little bend on it, draw 4, blow 5. So we've got 4 notes, and you're going to play each note on the downbeat as your foot hits the floor. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's bar 1. Then what we do in bar 2 is we come down the harmonica, starting on draw 5. So the notes are draw 5, blow 5, draw 4, draw 3, again with a little bend on it, not quite a half step bend. So you're going to play those 4 notes, 1 on each beat. So that bar 2 sounds like this. See? And then what we do is we repeat it, so we start again, we go back to the draw 2. So to continually loop through this, maintaining structure and time, think about a target note aiming to come back onto that draw 2 on time every time. Okay, so it would sound like this. And so on. So we're looping through that. So that's our 2-bar riff, which will be very familiar to you if you're playing any kind of blues. Now, dwell time. So listen what happens when I subtly change the timing on 2 notes of that riff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play it through as we've just done, which feels very linear, feels very square. Each note is on the beat, and each note is held for the same interval. So as a result, it's not particularly interesting. Now, what happens with a lot of harmonica playing out there, it is what I describe as very square, very linear, because we tend to think about coming up with new ideas through note choices and the order of notes. And we think less about using time to generate new ideas. But as we'll see here, subtle timing changes can completely transform the way a phrase or a riff sounds. So I'm going to play it through once as we've just laid it out, and then I'm going to apply this little bit of dwell time idea, and you can see what happens to the phrase. And so on. Okay, so it's got a completely different feel, a lot more swagger for it, and it becomes a lot more interesting. So what I'm doing there is I'm not adding any new notes, I'm not changing the beat. What I'm doing is at the end of bar 2, when we hit this draw 3 with a little bend on it, we're holding it for a fraction longer. And when we come back to start the next cycle of the 2-bar riff, the draw 2 now, we're also holding it slightly longer, and we're playing it slightly earlier, slightly ahead of the beat. So let's just break that down in a bit more detail. So it sounds like this. So if we look at the draw 3 with a little bend on it, which happens at the last beat of bar 2, or the end of the cycle. What you're doing there is, as your foot comes down, you're going to play the draw 3 slightly earlier. So rather than thinking about playing the note as your foot hits the floor, and then as your foot comes off, stopping the note, you're going to play it slightly earlier. So it's like you're almost squeezing the note out. And then you're going to hold that note as your foot comes up. So you're extending the time. And then as your foot comes down, you play the draw 2 slightly earlier. So it's sounding just a little bit before your foot hits the floor. And then you're going to continue to hold that draw 2 as your foot comes up and down to hit the draw 3 with a little bend on it as you're going up. Now, those subtle timing changes completely transform this phrase. It moves it from something which is linear and very square to something which has got a lot more groove and swagger to it. So once again. Okay, so the beat is consistent. So I hope that gets across to you the power of dwell time. Now you can transpose that idea into licks, phrases, explore different combinations. Just try subtly changing the timing on one note or two notes and see what happens. Now we go into a lot more detail on the course itself, which comprises of 31 exercises spanning over 5 hours. So if you want to find out more, watch the trailer, which is coming up next, or you can find out more on the course page itself, the link at the bottom of the screen. So once again, thank you very much for watching. I look forward to your comments, and I hope you found this, this lesson and this concept of dwell time useful. Thank you very much.